Power cannot protect every mistake. The courtroom was silent, heavy with an unspoken tension as Officer Derek Collins stood over a woman, his grip tight on a pair of clippers. His smirk was filled with arrogance, his voice dripping with contempt. "You think you're someone important?" he sneered, yanking the woman forward by her hair, forcing her to her knees. The murmurs in the room grew, yet no one dared to intervene. But the woman didn't resist. She didn't beg. She didn't plead. Instead, she met his eyes with quiet defiance, her expression unreadable. "You people," Collins spat, shaking his head, "always thinking you run things, walking around like you're equal. But let me remind you, in my courtroom, I make the rules." With a flick of his wrist, the clippers buzzed to life. The sound echoed through the room, followed by gasps of horror as dark locks of hair fell to the floor. "You should be thanking me," he chuckled, dragging the blades ruthlessly across her scalp. "Now, everyone can see you for what you really are." Yet, through the humiliation, the woman remained unmoved. No tears, no cries, no pleas, just silence. And then, when the last strand had fallen, Collins grabbed her chin, forcing her to look at him. "Now," he muttered, "you look like a nobody." A beat of silence passed. Then she smiled. Not a broken smirk or a forced expression, but a real, knowing smile. A smile that sent a flicker of unease across his face. "Are you finished?" she asked calmly. Collins blinked. "What?" She rose to her feet, brushing off her clothing with measured grace. "Because if you are, I'd like to return to my courtroom." A stunned silence filled the air. His grip on her loosened. "You're what?" She walked past him, reached for the black robe draped over the judge's chair, and with slow, deliberate movements, placed it over her shoulders. "You just assaulted the presiding judge of this court." Gasps erupted from the audience. Even the security guards at the door stiffened. Someone in the back whispered, "No way." The weight of reality crashed over the room as Judge Olivia Carter stood tall, her authority unshaken, her presence more powerful than ever. And for the first time, Collins stumbled back. This isn't." His voice faltered. Judge Carter stepped forward, her voice unwavering. "You wanted to strip me of dignity. You wanted to show everyone that I was beneath you. But tell me, Officer Collins, how does it feel now?" Collins looked around, desperate for support. But the attorneys exchanged glances. The jury foreman swallowed hard. The guards near the entrance braced themselves. No one was on his side. Then, the doors swung open. A team of officers in black uniforms entered. Their movements were precise, their expressions unreadable. Collins' breath hitched. He took a step back. "Wait, hold on." Too late. Handcuffs clicked. The once powerful officer, the man who had basked in his authority, now stood frozen, his hands wrenched behind his back. And the last thing he saw before being dragged from the courtroom was Judge Carter standing tall, unshaken, a force no act of cruelty could ever break. Darkness inside the prison. For years, he had wielded his badge like a weapon, leaving behind a trail of bruised bodies and shattered lives. He had built a reputation on fear, believing himself untouchable. But the law had finally caught up to him. When he arrived at the detention center, every eye in the holding area turned to him. Some recognized him. Some had suffered at his hands. The smirks, the whispers, the murmurs of justice finally being served. A voice cut through the noise. Well, look what we have here." Marcus Lee, an inmate Collins had once brutalized, leaned against the bars, his grin slow and knowing. "Ain't so tough now, are you?" Collins swallowed hard, his pulse hammering in his throat. For the first time in his life, he truly understood what fear felt like. A chance to change. One day, he was called to the warden's office. Expecting another punishment, he entered cautiously, only to find Judge Olivia Carter waiting for him. She studied him. "You've been in here for almost a year. You've had time to think. Time to understand what it feels like to be powerless." Collins clenched his jaw but didn't argue. She was right. She sighed. The system isn't built for redemption. But people? They can change. Your sentence is being reduced. You'll be transferred to a rehabilitation program outside these walls. Collins frowned. Why? Because punishment only works if it leads to something better, she said. Otherwise, it's just revenge. Her words hit differently. They weren't about mercy. They were about accountability. Don't mistake this for freedom, she warned. You will work harder than you ever have. You'll earn the right to be part of society again. Collins exhaled. A year ago, he would have spat at the idea. But now, stripped of everything, all he had left was a choice. And this time, he chose change. Lessons and meaningful message from the story. 1. The abuse of power leads to a fall. Collins believed his authority made him untouchable, allowing him to act without consequences. However, power is not a shield. It is a responsibility. Those who misuse it will eventually face justice. 2. True strength lies in integrity. Judge Carter did not retaliate with anger or vengeance. Instead, she upheld justice with dignity, proving that real power comes from resilience, wisdom, and standing firm in the face of injustice. 3. Justice is not about revenge, but redemption. Collins' punishment was not just about making him suffer, it was about teaching him accountability. True justice offers a path to change, ensuring that people have a chance to become better. 4. Fear and control are temporary. Collins ruled through fear, believing control would last forever. But when fear fades, so does power. The story highlights that respect must be earned through fairness, not intimidation. 5. Everyone deserves a second chance if they choose to change. Collins had a choice, to remain the same or to grow from his mistakes. His journey reminds us that change is possible, but it requires humility, effort, and genuine self-reflection. Personal perspective. This story is a powerful reminder that no one is above the law. It forces us to reflect on our own actions and choices. Do we use our influence to help or to harm? Do we stand up against injustice or stay silent? The message here is clear. True justice balances accountability with the possibility of redemption. Collins' fate also serves as a warning. Power can disappear in an instant, and the real question is, who are we without it? Judge Carter exemplifies the right way to wield power, with fairness, wisdom, and integrity. If you found this story thought-provoking and inspiring, there's more where that came from. Subscribe to Story Precious for more gripping narratives that challenge your perspective. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Collins deserved a second chance? Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more eye-opening stories that make you question everything you thought you knew.